Hello, my name is Richard Mayotte, and I'm here to tell you the importance of Santa Claus. Let's begin. Why is believing in Santa and other myths as a child so important? Well, kids need heroes to look up to, and parents need easy ways of explaining some strange things to their children, like why they should always be good, or, you know, why they lose teeth, and why it's okay, and why, their eyes burn when they go to sleep. They gotta rub their eyes, and that's the Sandman. Personally, I don't want to destroy my son's innocence. I don't want to destroy other children. I don't want him to destroy other children's innocence either. That's just not good. I don't want him to be a bully and hurt other kids' feelings. He's got to learn how to respect that. And then with my son's innocence, I want him to be able to look at things in awe and wonder how they work and hope they work well. And plus, also, practically, it helps think, hey, Santa brought me this. Not my parents bought this for me, or my parents bought me this, or bought me that, and bought me all these crazy things. I want him to be able to think at first, hey, I got this from Santa because I was a good boy. But if you decide to, say no, it damages imagination, creativity, and trust. It'll hurt his feelings, and then it'll just squash who he is, and he won't think of other great, wonderful things, and then he probably won't trust you, especially if you tell him Santa doesn't exist, and he has all sorts of other kids and teachers telling him he does. The imagination is extremely important, and like everything. I hope to, he can express his imagination and show the world his imagination, and have one that just grows and has nothing but endless stories and things that he can do and create and work with. Especially with creativity. He likes to paint and sing and dance, and I hope that my son one day can continue with these things that he enjoys to do without me destroying his creativity by telling him Santa doesn't exist, we get him all the gifts. And it also breaks the trust. Trust is extremely important, especially when it comes to a father and his son. And I just want him to trust me above all other people on the planet. And without that trust, he's going to have issues. And I hope he doesn't have those kind of issues and he can come to me with anything. My childhood, I knew about Santa Claus, but that was at the age of 12 or something like that. And I had all these wonderful things to be part of, and my parents told me, like all about Santa. I thought there was a Santa for forever. Like my dad even dressed up as Santa. That was amazing and a wonderful part of my childhood. Other ideas, my child is not theirs. Doctors' opinions are just silly, and statistics mean nothing to the individual. We all know that cancer kills a lot of people, but we all know a lot of people that have survived cancer. I know a lot of Marines that have been blown up, but a lot of them have survived. My kid, my decision. This is my son. No one can tell me how to raise him except for the law. And as far as I know, in this country, there's no law against creativity or imagination or telling my son that there's a Santa Claus. I fought for that freedom. I'm glad I have it. And he is my son forever. Doctors are silly. They always change their opinions. Medical facts change all the time. Psychology isn't exact. It's pretty much a lot of good, educated guesses. And Doctor Who is pretty freaking awesome. But again, doctors, like, they'll tell you one thing, and then a year later they have a all different opinion on what's going on. Statistics. They are just crazy. Like, completely off the wall. Like, I could tell you right now that, like, statistically speaking, my son is going to have no imagination because I don't have one. But, he probably will, because it's just chance, not statistics. This is my dad. He dressed up as Santa Claus several times, and he even told me a great story about how he shot the Easter Bunny because he thought he was going to rob him. But it was still funny, and he let us believe it. And it was just part of my childhood. He was a great guy, and he still is a great man. And I love him for it. And, hey, you get to meet the myth. Look at my boy with the Easter Bunny. He is freaking out, but I tell you what, that man in that costume loves kids, and he loves to have the kids on his lap, and he loves to share that with the children. Why would you have a kid sit on Easter Bunny's lap if he doesn't exist? He's right there, living and breathing. Downsides. You lie to your kid. Other kids can ruin it for your kid, and there are some religious things that come into effect when it comes to Christmas and Easter, especially Easter. and Christmas. And I don't want my kids to lie. I don't want to lie to my kids. Back to trust. Everybody lies about something. So I'm going to go ahead and tell my kid that there's a Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny. I'm going to tell him the myths of old. And, there are people who are going to tell him about religions that I don't believe in. And to him, he might. And, some people that's a myth and some people it's not. So, hey. And other kids are mean. They will tell and tell and tell and tell until they are just satisfied with how much destruction they have caused. I remember kids like this when I was in school, and they were really mean and hateful, and it really hurt my feelings when I was a child. Religious views are very important, and it's very important to be respectful of them. So with Christmas and New Year's and stuff, it's happy holidays, because of Hanukkah and everything else. And then with Easter, some people don't believe in the rebirth of Jesus Christ. That's fine. So, Easter Bunny, that's cool. But, I hope my son does respect them. And myths are wicked cool. Look at that. It's a castle made of ice. Awesome. I hope my son thinks stuff like that is awesome. And he loves superheroes right now, so I'm pretty sure we're pretty locked in on how cool things are with myths and things. So, but they are wicked cool. Look at that castle. It's amazing. And hope. Most of all, hope. Hope gives us everything, the reason to live, the reason to wake up. And I hope that my son will have hope because of these things. And I hope that you really enjoyed this slideshow. And I hope that I really didn't bomb it that bad. Have a good one.